Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Julia if you're new here, and on Tuesdays and Fridays I upload videos on reselling, thrifting, and DIYs. If you're new here, make sure to hit the subscribe button. Today we're going to be talking about some thrifting and reselling questions that I've received. So I've received these questions through my Instagram shop, which the @ is returninggaze. I will link it down below, through Reddit, through Facebook, and through YouTube. So the first question is, how do you gain a large following on any of the reselling platforms? So everything from Depop to Poshmark to Instagram, you will always have a big following or a following in general because people can follow you to see your items. So on Instagram I have nearly 5,000 followers, and the way I grew that is through consistency, posting good items, and being very personal. I truly think that those are the 3 keys to success. There's no big secret behind it, there's just those 3 things. So if you follow those 3 things and you're very consistent, I've been reselling for about a year and I have almost 5,000 followers. So be patient, be consistent. The next question is, where is the first place I go when I go thrifting? Now I'm telling you this because this is a great place to go when you go thrifting. I go to the women's tops. I think they have the best stuff, and if you're gonna find a super cute find in the thrift store, I immediately go there because that's where I think it'll be. Next, I usually go to men's t-shirts to try to find some cool graphic oversized tees. Do I have a budget I stick to? So personally, I do not have a budget I stick to. This is just because you can go to many thrift stores and you might find one thing and it might be super good, but that's all you find in a whole day. Another day you might find a bunch of things and it might equal $50, but what happens when you don't have a great day the next day? So personally, I do not have a budget and I just try to stick to my gut, and if I find good things, I get them. The next question I have is, how do you price things? The way I price my items is looking it up on the original website if I can find it. Then I take the original price into account and the quality of the item. So say I have a really nice Brandy Melville top that originally retailed for $20. Immediately I'm going to bump that down to $17, but say it has some pilling, then I'm going to bump it down to about $14. And that way I have a fair price. If I can't find something or it's boutique brand, I try to do my best, or I try to look it up on Poshmark to find similar things to that item. And lastly, for vintage, I really just try my best. I do the same thing with Poshmark or Depop, but overall, I'm really just trying my best and use my best judgment. The next question is, where do you take your pictures? So when I'm modeling my clothes, I either use my back fence, which is a super cool, washed look, I'll insert a picture here, or my garage, which looks like this, or one of my plain walls in my room. It's best to use not a too busy background, because when you use a busy background, it's hard to focus on the item that you're selling. The next question is, how do you get your shipping labels? Now, some companies like Poshmark will completely provide a shipping label to you, but if you are using something like Depop or Instagram, you're gonna have to make your own shipping labels. And for that, I use Pirate Ship. It's completely free. Going along with that question, the next question is, how much does it cost to ship? So if you're taking into account the poly mailers and the label, it costs about $4 to $10 depending on each item. A pack of poly mailers is about $15, and to ship, say, a t-shirt is about $4. Other things like shoes that are in boxes, it can cost up to $15. When you're shipping anything under a pound, it is always going to be less. So if you can help something being under a pound, definitely try to do that. It will 100% be less. The next question is, what is your best advice to new thrifters? And my best advice to new thrifters is be consistent and don't lose hope. So I have gone through many thrift stores just shuffling and shuffling and shuffling through everything. When I can't find anything, it's super frustrating, but don't give up. Wake up the next day or in a week and go back and try to find some more stuff. I understand it's super easy to get frustrated, but eventually you will find what you're looking for and you'll have a great thrifting day. And then the next day and the next day, you might have bad days and you might have good days. It's all about the luck you have, which, let's be real, luck, whatever. Maybe manifestation will work, but it all depends on the day, where you go, where you're looking, and all that stuff put together will help you find the best items. My best advice is go thrifting often. I go thrifting so often that I can flip through racks extremely fast. I've gone with my friends and they're like, oh my goodness, this is so fast. This is kind of panicking me, just because I can flip through racks so fast and get through almost an entire rack within 10 minutes. So being able to do that has really benefited me and helped me find good items. Another tip is go online and research your thrift stores. If you go to a Goodwill that has 3 stars, chances are it won't be great, because you think about it. What are those 3 stars coming from? They can be coming from customer service, they can be coming from cleanliness, or they can be coming from maybe a person buying home decor. Whereas try to find somewhere that's 5 stars that might be a little bit farther. For example, I have Salvation Army's about 40 minutes away from me, and I understand that's far for some people, but for me that's attainable because it is my job. So if you can find new thrift stores or antique shops or anything like that that are new, I would definitely try to go to them and see if you can find any new stuff. So basically my two biggest tips are be consistent when you thrift and don't give up. Have patience and do your research before going to a thrift store, because there's nothing more frustrating than driving somewhere and being frustrated when you can't find anything. My next question is it expensive to start reselling? And my answer is no. For me at least, it was not expensive. I probably put about $100 into it before I started getting profit. And this was just because of my mistakes. So I would price my items too low and then have to pay shipping and then not make barely any profit. And then some things just wouldn't sell because I didn't know what sold. So definitely do your research, follow other Poshmark accounts or Depop accounts and see what sells best. I made this mistake and bought way too much inventory that people just really weren't interested in. And I thought I knew what I was doing, but I definitely recommend doing this. There's also videos on YouTube that explain what sells best on Poshmark, what sells best on Depop, etc. My next question is, how do you get items to sell fast? And my best advice to that is be consistent. My biggest advice for that is be polite, be consistent, and respond to buyers very quickly. And my last question is, can you start reselling and thrifting if you were under 18 or under 16? And my answer is absolutely yes. Now, I have more coming on that in my next video, so make sure you stay tuned for that. Make sure you hit the subscribe and like button down below and leave a comment. If you have any more questions, I'd love to answer them in another Q&A video like this. Just make sure to leave them below. I'll see you guys next time. Bye!